Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm bringing back I guess my remnants of my MonsterArts collection of Godzilla, and maybe just one side character, but still Godzilla, but it's Mechagodzilla, the poster version, and just basically like the figures that I have in my collection so far. But I wanted to start with the years. So the one I got first is the 1964. Yeah, and this is just a regular one. I haven't gotten that emergence one yet, and I really want to find him, and for sure I want to get him. But anyways, I got the regular one, and for being the accurate to the show, the suit, it looks freaking amazing, man. I know again some people make a big deal of the gap, but still that doesn't bother me. Again, you don't have to like fucking force it and shit. You probably wind up breaking it, so screw that. And knowing that these guys are pretty expensive too, so I don't really care about like the gaps and all that sort of shit. And I really like the fact that it has like a shitload of, well, because it does have a shitload of articulation. But then again, there are those little quirks or little problems that for some reason this arm it does want, it does want to pop off. But I don't know if I'm pegging it in all the way. I hear the pop or the snap, and there it is. It's all in there. And then for some reason this thing keeps like coming off. But it doesn't really come off, but it feels like it's like it wants to. This piece of the skin. I'm gonna show it right here. Over this shows like this part right here. Over here, it's perfect. It's like it flush like how it's supposed to. And this goes down, makes the wretches like that, making all the ball joints or whatever. So that's freaking badass. I think I fucking unpopped that, so that kind of sucks. So see, some joints do pop off for some strange reason, but again, you're doing poses where again the guy in the suit didn't really do. So I guess you can't really argue about that. You gotta kind of technically have him how he was in the movie, because this is the one where he fights Mothra. And then in the next movie, I guess it was the same suit, but a little modifications. But it's just when he finally fights the Monster Zero or the Astro Monster or whatever you call it. Got the paint, the shading or whatever on the dorsal plates. Looks freaking amazing. Hard, you don't have to worry about that. It's like hard, like it's like super hard. It's not like that rubbery stuff. It's like super stiff. But still watch out, And then again, the tail. See, and I know that a few YouTubers had that problem too, that it pops out. But again, it's not that hard to pop it back in. I guess just hold it from there, and then you can still do all the... The only problem I did have that really kind of got to me about this figure is that I guess right here it popped off. But I did again the whole super glue or Gorilla Glue, or that glue that I showed in the other video. I used a dab of that, and I just start moving it around so it doesn't really have to glue all together, so I still have the movement. But now it won't pop off for shit. So now, but again, I'm still able to pose or do all the articulation, so that's perfect. But now I don't have to be worrying about, oh, it's gonna pop off. But there it is. But again, that's just my trick. You don't have to do the same thing what I'm doing. But again, I use those clear glue sticks and the clear gel glue, and that's what I use. But a little dab of it, and there you go. And it works like a charm. So I don't know what you guys do with the Godzilla figures when something snaps off or you just want to glue it back. But that's what I do. And then the head goes kind of all the way down, goes up. There's another piece, but actually it does work because I did find a way how to kind of make it go more down, and then this piece goes all the way down, and then finally having it right there. I guess you could kind of have him doing that pose. Fucking I don't know if it's this Godzilla or maybe it is the one where he's like doing that bullshit, the fucking flying. Dun, 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 whatever the hell we use. Oh no, that's the one who's fighting the. My bad. See, I get everything mixed up. The smog monster, the Hedora. So, but yeah, you could get him in that freaking crazy ass pose. Kind of like hearing that, that leaves you know that everything's working pretty good. All the like ratchety sounds and shit. Sounds like a goddamn. Sounds like my damn GT how it used to sound. All that fucking squeaking and shit. So yeah, put them back. But again, half the time when it comes to posing, I always have them like the static or just the normal with the hands up. Sometimes with just with the mouth closed. Oh, talking about the mouth, I don't have that problem. I did in the beginning have that little problem where the mouth would, what do you call it? It would start doing that popping out nonsense. I hope you guys can see again. Sorry for the freaking focus shit, kind of pissing me off. Maybe it's because of the picture in the background. Probably gotta move that. There you go. Yeah, right there. And just close it. Some people say that they had a hard time closing it all the way. You just push it all the way. It's like it doesn't stop halfway. Maybe the reason why you think it's closing because you're not really closing it all the way. You never thought about that? It's not that hard. Get it with the piece of the thing right there, and boom. It doesn't stay open because mine doesn't. The only little gripe, hopefully, I don't know if it shows. Go again for being 1080, the fucking quality. Hopefully it does show for being 1080. The eyes. I have one eye that looks perfect. That's kind of dark and it has that glossy, you know, it's inside, but you have that shaded part outside, and then you got the eyeball inside. On this side, it's perfect, but on over here, it's somewhat perfect, but it looks like the black part of the iris. It looks like it's pushed in just a tad to the back, but it's like it doesn't really bother me. It still looks badass. Still got that like that dead face, you know, again pissed off for being what the movie was. But again, this is supposed to be like the funny ass Godzilla when they were trying to make him look all for kids and shit. You have to remember that. But again, this is the one from him versus Mothra. So yeah, so I always have the tail like that. Me standing. And there you go. And again, I really enjoy this figure, and like I said, I can't wait to when I find a good deal or find one in one of the comic shops to get the Emergence Godzilla. So this is the 64. Let's go to the next one. But again, I'm going by the years. I'm not going by which ones I bought first or whatever. Where's this motherfucker at? There. This big ass thing, you gotta fucking focus up. This is not the original, but this is the concept poster Hirayoshi concept version, poster version I should say. So hopefully I didn't butcher that name. But yeah, and yes, I got the box. Hopefully I can put it here in the back. Came in this casing. Maybe might not hold the show the whole thing, but there it is. Put it on the other side. But yes. And you got the Garuda and the Mangalva or whatever, and the what's that other one called? The tank, or I don't know, because I know the Garuda is the one that flies, and the Mandalva is the tanker one with the legs, and I forgot the third one. But anyways, anyway, you guys could help me out in the comments or whatever. So yeah, but this is the poster version. This would have been badass, but again, I know all that this shit or whatever they had to do to the suit would have been too complicated for the time. For being again, this is from 1993 movie. I mean the Mechagodzilla 2. I mean versus Mechagodzilla 2, I should say, but in 1993. So this is the concept. And this one, to me, one of the badass fucking. Actually, this was my first ever SH MonsterArts figure that I bought. And one of the expensive ones too. It wasn't cheap. But I didn't care. I still bought it. The only fucking, the little gripe that I have, and I don't know if anyone's having this, but I barely don't even, I just touch it with my hand. Maybe just because I have my thumb on it, but I'm always cleaning my hands, it's all dry and all that, but I'm getting this. Hopefully it shows. It's already like peeling, like just from one leg. And then right here in the bottom though, like the paint chip right there, maybe it showed it right there. Like what the hell, man? Like goddamn. But again, die cast and few plastic rubber parts, but a lot, because it is a hefty figure, but mostly die cast. So freaking crazy. Open the mouth, turn it. Hopefully it shows. Half of the time I always have it closed. Gun, the rockets, the gun, their hands or whatever. You can move this somewhat, but you gotta watch out with the wiring right here on the sides. So you guys, whoever has this, just watch out. Never try to pull, 360, because then you're gonna wind up snapping or tearing off those damn wires. So just always watch out for these things right here, because they connect to the fingers basically, or the rocket launcher, or the shooting guns, the that type of shit. So yeah. At first, when I was trying to transform, I thought I was having a hard time getting the headpiece, but kind of figure it out, because there's, again, you gotta look at the instructions that I did, but there's these little pieces that you had to move from the inside to pick it up and then place the head down so this could be flushed. This part was easy, but then putting the jetpack for me was kind of, I don't know, a little bit difficult, but I got it. But then on this side, for some reason, sometimes it doesn't want to, like, this piece, even though it is on the peg, I did everything correctly, but it's sometimes it wants to, see, it pops up for some reason, and I always gotta like push it down. But again, still a good badass figure, and I really love it. And again, Mechagodzilla, and again, at least I got, the prototype or the poster version. I still really want to get the freaking Godzilla, the other one, the poster version Godzilla. I still need to find him, so I gotta get him for the collection as well. But I'll get him later. So yeah, comes with the rockets over you guys to see. And then these come up. People didn't know. Push down. You can do all the poses, with him like jet packing away. Just press down. Just watch out. Don't put too many fours. Look like that, like where he's like flying away and shit. Where he's gonna do like a dive kick or a dive headbutt to Godzilla, if he ever did, was part of the movie. And then this thing does this number here. And then you gotta remember there was like a tab right here in the back, behind the butt. You had to snap it in so everything could be right. And then this thing, I didn't even know about this at the last moment. I had to read the instructions because this was down. You have to pick this up somehow. See, it's always hard, fucking stiff. So there, got it up, and then you gotta press down. But the feet part's what kind of pisses me off a little bit. You gotta get it like real centered. Damn, that fucking thing of the paint chip's really getting to me, man. That's the only problem with this figure. Everything is awesome, amazing. It's a badass figure. I love it and all for all that. And again, being a fan of the SH Monster Art brand, but for being this and then one of my most expensive figures, that's what it's doing. It's peeling already. Come on, man. Like, it's like, come on, SH. I don't want a refund, or I don't want to fucking bother you guys to send me another one, because I don't want that. But come on, man, make the material or the paint or whatever you guys use for the die cast so it doesn't have to do this. And I barely even touch it, or I just touch it like real hard one time, but I'm not pressing down, I'm just holding it to, push down the leg, because that's what you're supposed to do. And there you go. Oh yeah, and this stuff goes up, but again, when you had all the other crazy little pieces. So yes, but anyways, this is the Mechagodzilla, the Near Yoshi poster version. So yes, I love it. I just really love this figure, man. Fucking amazing. And then again, it's Mechagodzilla. So yeah, so there's that one. Then you guys already saw this one, the all-time be-all, my favorite one. And I did finally put the hands that I was talking about, the ones that everybody has a problem with. And see, it's kind of doing it right now where I don't see, it shows the gap already. Look, this is what I'm talking about. Like you barely start flicking it or something, or you barely even putting any force. Like I'm not even pushing out that much, and oh look, I barely even twist it. It's not supposed to do that. What happens if you try to go outside or take it to do the, the photo shoots or something with the figure, and you're trying to pose? Look at all that gap. Barely pressing up just to do the pose. It feels like you gotta push in. But these are the second, I guess the second set of hands you get on in the figure, and then you get this, the beam effect with the little stand, fire stand, and these are the ones that I had before on the other video. And then again, this is the case that it came with, so you guys can know that I do have it. So yeah, but still, all really love this figure, but that's just a teeny tiny little gripe. But again, not the only one. It's doing it to me too, so I got that problem too with the hands. I guess you just gotta you find your way, or your maña, or whatever the hell you say in Spanish, fucking, to get the how you're gonna be posing Godzilla. I try to pose him like in the show, where he has the hands all together and the hands kind of up, and then he's roaring like that, or kind of like in the background, the cover. So not really showing that much, but again, I already did a little somewhat review on him a few days ago, so anyone wants to check out that video, it's on my list of videos, so anyone wants to go check that out. So again, there's that one. This is the 1995 supposedly rebirth version of Godzilla, the Junior or whatever, when he comes back to life, but as dad again, I guess, or the end all be all Godzilla for that era. And then I got the GMK. There it is. This crazy bad boy right here. I'm like, damn. Again, hope you guys can see all the detail. And yes, I have that. It's not a problem, but see, mine is the same way. That's mine. So it's everybody's around the world. It's not just certain people. It's not certain people from a certain continents or certain states, or if you're Los Angeles or wherever, Canada or whatever. No, I'm over here in Texas. So see, I got the same toy over here in my comic shop, and boom, the Dorsa plate does the same thing. It has that little bend. But again, for being a real, like, tough, rough Dorsa plate, it's not bendy. So mouth shuts, close. Has that little thing where you could pose the tongue if you want to, but sometimes I don't really mess around. I just try to keep it as centered as I can, and sometimes have it halfway like that. You got this one arm that goes all the way over here, but this one doesn't do that. It just goes halfway. And the hands have that the joint right there to go side to side or up and down. You pose kind of straight. And again, all the Godzillas that I showed already, they could do the pose of the whole, how do you call it, the swimming? I'll do it on this one at least, but all of them I just showed. I forgot to do it to all of them, but they all do the, see, popped out. Actually, this is the first time on camera. Shit, the thing popped out, but see, it's not that hard. It's just joints right there. Find that little peg hole, and there it is. Pop it back in. It's not that hard. It's not. So people, you guys are fans or buyers out, don't be worried. Like it's not broken. Like you could just pop it back in, and you'll be good to go. And then the toe, they never had a problem with the toe, the posing or the popping out. So, see, that's completely straight. But I always keep it how it was, like on the box. I always keep it up like that. And then again, I love that dead scare. The eye is all that grayish, dark shadow gray with a little bit of the whiteness in the middle. I mean, in the center of the eye, like just evil. Because again, he was basically evil. He was fucking killing and beating the shit out of every kaiju in that movie, or Titan as they call him now. So yeah. So it was kind of like the scary, big ass foot dinosaur looking fucking Godzilla that we ever got. And again, the only one, so that's kind of strange that we only got this version just one time. But, whatever. But again, I have the GMK. And I love it. Badass for the collection, man. I really enjoy it. And like I said, I have the NECA one too, so I showed that off in the other collection. So anyways, this is the GMK, the 2001. And then this one, I got the 2014. But right now I'm using, and I know you guys are probably like, whoa, what's that? Well, this is from the next Godzilla I'm going to show, the other 2014. I have, the last one I should say that I have is the Spitfire version, but you get this accessory where you have the hand with holding the Moodle, but it goes good with this one. Because it doesn't really look good with the Spitfire one, because he didn't have the flames or the fire afterwards of holding the head of the Moodle when he died. So he's basically like this, doing, you know, the screaming or whatever, and then he's just, you know, like holding the, you know, doing the fucking Godzilla roar, and then he just has it, and then he just drops it to the ocean, and then just walks away, or back to the city, and falls down, or hibernates, or whatever, basically. So yeah, then again, this is 2014, again, another badass, amazing figure, a lot of articulation. Got the detail down to the T. Fucking badass, the tail. The only problem, it doesn't do that thing again. Everybody has the same problem too. I'm not the only one that it won't stay up. See, it goes down, but whatever. But I always do that pose with the tail where you have it like halfway, like a circle, and it somewhat stays up, and that's how I have them posed. Especially when having the Moodle head. And I always have them doing the screaming pose, or the screaming face, with the mouth open. But sometimes I always gotta fix the jaw, and I always gotta fix the little tongue thing, because it always gets crooked sometimes. So yeah, again he has a head, tilt right there. And the arm, somewhat goes straight, but again it looks like it wants to pop off, but it doesn't really. Hands are pretty good. Probably go all the 360 basically, but again, don't be worried if it pops off, because again, you could just pop it back in, so don't be scared, because again, all of them do that. They always pop off, but you just pop them back in, every Godzilla that you have in your collection. So I don't really see that as a problem. And again, yes, there might be some people that think like, ah man, like, yeah, it's cool that it has a lot of articulation, but Godzilla doesn't really, or any Godzilla for that matter, don't do a lot of poses, because the suit, even the 2014 didn't really do a lot of posing or a lot of action things for being a CGI character. But again, I don't know, like, I still take it, but I take it because of the sculpting. I love the sculpting because it does look like the kaiju. And again, can't wait for the new, whenever that new SH MonsterArts comes out, of the 2019, the King of the Monsters. So, and supposedly that's it's pretty cheap. It's a cheap price, 67, or I mean $60, or supposedly it's like 70. And my last one for the meantime, the Spitfire. That's the last one I got in my collection of anything SH MonsterArts. Got him, and it comes the breath effect, and again, you guys already seen the stand, the little stand thing, and then this one comes with the bigger stand when it says Godzilla. That's pretty cool. But again, everybody's seen that in a billion reviews, so I don't have to show that here. So you guys already know. The only difference there, maybe a little bit of a difference of articulation, or maybe they fixed a little bit of things. This one has that better jaw, that it actually closes, because the other one, for some strange reason, it doesn't really close correctly all the way. See, it wants to open, and this one is kind of somewhat, we're basically finally fully shut. But that one, see, it wants to open up, so that kind of sucks. But again, you gotta worry about the damn tail. So at least they fixed that on the Spitfire one. And then the joints feel more, how do you say it, more solid or more stiff. So that's pretty good. The other one felt more looser. Yeah, and then now the tail, this one, when you want to pose it up or something, or the back part, boom, it actually stays up. Or especially this part right here stays up. It doesn't, boom, it doesn't flop down like the other one. So that's pretty badass. So they kind of fixed that little deal. But again, even to me, that doesn't really matter anyway, because again, I'll still have them pose with the tail down, so it doesn't really matter. Maybe first, if I do some Instagram pictures or Facebook posts that I mostly do have the time. I really don't even post that much on Instagram, but when I do take the pictures of these guys and then try to make my own pictures. So yeah, and again, same articulation. You got that gap right here, doesn't really affect it that much. And the hands, same, it's basically the same figure, just a repaint, and maybe a little bit, like I said, a better retooling, and maybe a tad better, what do you call it, sculpting in the head. It's like a little bit better sculpt. But then again, the only thing that kind of bothers me is this piece right here, and you kind of saw it already. Look at that, all that see-through. But again, it's like whatever. You can just always put it, you gotta find a way how to push down the necklines or the skin or whatever you call it to a certain point, so you could hide that somewhat. But again, this is the 2014 Spitfire version. Now, like I said before, man, like again, these guys were all my yeah, SH MonsterArts that I have in my collections, and you guys, hope you guys like, share, comment, and the main thing, subscribe. So when you guys can or whatever, it's all good. So again, catch you in the next video. Peace out, everybody.